Have you ever wondered if time is truly linear? What if there were hidden portals, secret experiments, or even ancient technologies that could bend the very fabric of reality? Welcome to Timeless Secrets Hub today. We're diving deep into the realm of the impossible, alleged time travel machines. Throughout history, humans have dreamed of traveling through time, of visiting the past or the future. While these ideas may seem like science fiction, there are countless claims and theories suggesting that time travel might be more than just a fantasy. The Philadelphia Experiment, a tale of time travel and invisibility. The origins of the Philadelphia Experiment are often traced to the early years of World War II. With the threat of German U-boat attacks looming, the U.S. Navy was eager to explore methods of making its ships invisible to enemy radar. It's believed that a top-secret project, codenamed Rainbow, was initiated to investigate the possibility of cloaking technology. According to various accounts, the experiment took place on October 28, 1943, at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. The USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was reportedly fitted with experimental equipment designed to generate a powerful electromagnetic field. The goal? To bend light around the vessel, rendering it invisible not just to radar, but to the naked eye as well. What allegedly happened next? Things supposedly went terribly wrong. Instead of becoming invisible, the ship is said to have vanished entirely, leaving only a green mist in its wake. Eyewitnesses claim the ship reappeared minutes later, miles away, in Norfolk, Virginia, before vanishing again and reappearing in Philadelphia. Eyewitnesses recounted strange and disturbing effects. Crew members were reportedly found fused with the metal structure of the ship or suffering from psychological trauma, their bodies and minds seemingly unable to cope with the bizarre forces at play. Could this be the result of time travel gone wrong? Some theorists speculate that the electromagnetic field caused the Eldridge to slip through space and time. It's rumored that the ship was transported to different moments in time or to alternate dimensions, though there's little to no concrete evidence to support these claims. Did Albert Einstein play a role? A persistent rumor is that the theories behind the Philadelphia Experiment were inspired by the work of Albert Einstein, particularly his unfinished unified field theory, which sought to reconcile electromagnetism and gravity. Some believe that Einstein's research might have been repurposed by military scientists in secretive government projects, such as Project Rainbow. However, despite the gripping accounts, no verifiable documentation has ever surfaced to prove the experiment occurred. Naval records state that the USS Eldridge was never in Philadelphia at the time of the alleged event, having been in the Bahamas undergoing routine training exercises. The crew and officers of the ship have consistently denied any involvement in such an experiment. Die Glocke, the Nazi bell, a mystery of World War II. During World War II, the Nazis were notorious for their pursuit of cutting-edge technologies. One of the most enigmatic of these projects is known as Die Glocke, or the Bell, first brought to light by Polish journalist Igor Witkowski in his 2000 book, Prawda o Wunderwaffe, The Truth About the Wunderwaffe. Die Glocke is said to have been a bell-shaped device, developed in secret deep underground near Breslau, now Wrocław, Poland. According to Witkowski's sources, the bell used exotic materials such as Zerum 525, a reddish, mercury-like substance, and a radioactive isotope of thorium. But what exactly was Die Glocke supposed to do? Some researchers suggest that the device was designed to generate powerful torsion fields or gravitational anomalies, phenomena that, in theory, could allow for time manipulation or anti-gravity effects. Could this have been a Nazi experiment to manipulate time itself? Witkowski claims that the bell emitted intense radiation and caused devastating effects on the personnel who worked on it. Many allegedly died from the exposure, while others reportedly suffered severe health issues. Some believe that Die Glocke was a failed experiment, but others argue it may have had more sinister applications. Theories about its purpose. Was Die Glocke a time machine? Some argue that the Nazis were attempting to develop a device capable of traveling through time, or at least distorting the fabric of space-time. A weapon of mass destruction. Others suggest that Die Glocke was meant to be a superweapon, one that could turn the tide of the war in Germany's favor. An energy source? Another theory posits that it was an attempt to harness new forms of energy, perhaps even zero-point energy, a potential quantum phenomenon theorized to provide limitless power. After the war, Glocke is said to have disappeared without a trace. Some believe it was either destroyed by the Nazis to prevent it from falling into enemy hands, or that it was captured by Allied forces and kept under lock and key. There are even wild theories suggesting that the bell was taken to South America or Antarctica, where secret Nazi bases supposedly continued their experiments after the war. The mystery of Glocke continues to spark the imagination of conspiracy theorists and historians alike. Whether it was a time machine, a superweapon, or just another failed experiment, its legacy endures as one of the most tantalizing and terrifying mysteries of the Second World War. The Chronovisor, a controversial time machine. The Chronovisor is one of the most intriguing and controversial alleged time travel devices in modern history. According to claims, the Chronovisor was invented by Father Pellegrino Ernetti, an Italian Benedictine monk and physicist, in the 1960s. Ernetti claimed that this extraordinary device could capture and display images and sounds from the past, allowing users to witness historical events as they unfolded. What technology could possibly allow someone to view the past? Father Ernetti asserted that the Chronovisor was created using a combination of advanced electronics and a special type of radioactive material. The device was said to work by detecting and decoding the residual electromagnetic radiation left behind by past events. According to Ernetti, every action, sound, and image that has ever occurred is etched into the fabric of time, leaving behind a kind of cosmic recording that can be replayed with the right technology. Ernetti claimed that he and a team of 12 scientists, including the famous physicist Enrico Fermi and the German rocket scientist Werner von Braun, had collaborated on the Chronovisor project. They allegedly used principles of quantum physics and vibration theory to create a device capable of tuning into specific moments in history. What did Ernetti claim to have seen? Ernetti stated that the Chronovisor allowed him to witness some of the most pivotal moments in human history, including the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, the Last Supper, and even the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. He also claimed to have viewed ancient Roman plays and other lost works of literature. One of the most famous images allegedly captured by the Chronovisor was a blurry, black and white photograph of Jesus on the cross, which was published in an Italian magazine in the 1970s. However, skepticism about the Chronovisor's existence has always been high. The supposed photograph of Jesus was later revealed to be a reproduction of a statue from an Italian church, casting doubt on Ernetti's claims. Additionally, there is no concrete evidence to support the existence of the device, and many of the scientific principles Ernetti described are considered highly speculative or outright impossible by modern physicists. Is the Chronovisor a hoax? Many believe that the Chronovisor was either a hoax perpetrated by Ernetti or a misunderstanding of his work. Ernetti himself never produced any solid proof of the device, and after his death in 1994, no plans, prototypes, or other evidence were ever found. Some suggest that the story of the Chronovisor was a piece of Vatican propaganda or a modern-day parable meant to illustrate the dangers of tampering with the fabric of time. Despite this, the Chronovisor continues to capture the imagination of conspiracy theorists, who speculate that the Vatican may have hidden the device away to prevent its misuse. Some even believe that the Chronovisor is still in use today, allowing a select few to access secret knowledge from the past. Could a device like the Chronovisor ever be built? The idea of a time-viewing device raises intriguing questions about the nature of time and the possibility of recording or accessing the past. While mainstream science largely dismisses the Chronovisor as fantasy, the concept of retrieving past events through some form of advanced technology continues to be a popular theme in science fiction and speculative research. The Chronovisor, whether real or imagined, serves as a reminder of our deep fascination with the past and our desire to understand the mysteries of time. Project Pegasus, time travel and the CIA. Project Pegasus is a lesser-known but equally fascinating story of alleged time travel involving a top-secret U.S. government project that purportedly took place during the Cold War. According to Andrew Basiago, a lawyer and self-proclaimed time traveler, Project Pegasus was a covert operation run by the CIA and the Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, DARPA, in the 1970s. What was the goal of Project Pegasus? Basiago claims that the goal of Project Pegasus was to develop time travel technology that could be used for military and intelligence purposes. He alleges that the project involved the use of teleportation and chronovision, a term borrowed from Father Ernetti's Chronovisor, to send people, including himself as a child, to different points in time and space. Basiago's story is full of incredible details. He claims that the technology used by Project Pegasus was based on the work of Nikola Tesla, whose papers were supposedly seized by the US government after his death in 1943. Tesla's research into energy and electromagnetism is said to have laid the groundwork for the development of a device called the Tesla teleportation device, which Basiago describes as a teleportation machine that could also send people back in time. What did Basiago claim to have experienced? Basiago recounts several extraordinary experiences as part of Project Pegasus, including trips to Gettysburg in 1863, where he witnessed Abraham Lincoln delivering the Gettysburg Address, and to Ford's Theater in 1865, where he allegedly saw Lincoln's assassination. He also claims to have visited Mars as part of a CIA program to explore the possibility of human colonization of the planet. While Basiago's claims are largely dismissed by the scientific community as outlandish, they have gained a following among conspiracy theorists and alternative historians. Some believe that Basiago's story is a disinformation campaign designed to obscure real government research into time travel and teleportation. Others see it as a modern myth, reflecting deep-seated fears and fantasies about the power of government and the potential for technological advances to reshape our understanding of reality. Could Project Pegasus be real? The evidence for Project Pegasus is largely anecdotal, and there is no verifiable proof that the project ever existed. Most scientists regard the technology described by Basiago as speculative at best and impossible at worst. However, the story of Project Pegasus touches on broader themes of secrecy, government power, and the limits of human knowledge, issues that resonate strongly in our era of rapid technological change. The Montauk Project, a gateway to time travel? Another chilling tale in the annals of alleged time travel experiments is that of the Montauk Project. This series of top-secret experiments is said to have taken place at Camp Hero, a decommissioned military base in Montauk, New York. According to various sources, these experiments involved everything from mind control to time travel, and even contact with extraterrestrial beings. What was the Montauk Project? The Montauk Project story first gained widespread attention through the book The Montauk Project: Experiments in Time by Preston Nichols and Peter Moon. Published in 1992, the book claimed that the US government was conducting secret experiments on time travel and other advanced technologies at Camp Hero during the 1970s and 1980s. Nichols, who claimed to be a participant in the project, described how the Montauk Project supposedly built upon the earlier Philadelphia experiment. He alleged that scientists at Montauk had developed a time tunnel that allowed them to travel to different points in time and space. According to Nichols, the project went far beyond simple time travel, delving into psychotronic warfare, mind control via electronic devices, interdimensional portals, and contact with non-human entities. What are some of the more extraordinary claims? The Montauk Project has become infamous for its bizarre and outlandish claims. These include the Montauk Chair, a device allegedly capable of amplifying psychic abilities, allowing individuals to manifest objects, and even open portals to other dimensions. It was supposedly used to send people and objects through time. Project Phoenix, an extension of the Montauk Project that reportedly involved teleportation, telekinesis, and the use of powerful electromagnetic fields to alter the fabric of reality. Experiments on children. Nichols claimed that children were abducted and subjected to horrific experiments as part of the project, with many never returning. Some believe these stories inspired the popular Netflix series Stranger Things. Is there any truth to the Montauk Project? Like many other alleged time travel experiments, the Montauk project lacks verifiable evidence. Critics argue that the entire story is a hoax, pointing to the absence of credible documentation and the sensational nature of the claims. The site of Camp Hero is now a state park, and investigations have found no physical evidence to support the tales of secret experiments. However, the Montauk project remains a staple of conspiracy lore, and its influence on popular culture is undeniable. Whether fact or fiction, it reflects deep-rooted fears about government secrecy, the abuse of power, and the unknown limits of human experimentation. John Titor, the internet's most famous time traveler. One of the most enduring time travel stories of the digital age is that of John Titor, a self-proclaimed time traveler who appeared on online forums in the early 2000s. Titor claimed to be a soldier from the year 2036, sent back in time to retrieve an IBM 5100 computer, which he said was needed to debug legacy computer systems in his future timeline. Who was John Titor? Titor first appeared on the Art Bell forums in November 2000, where he shared detailed accounts of his mission and the world he came from. According to Titor, the future was a dystopian landscape ravaged by nuclear war and civil unrest. He described a fragmented United States where the federal government had collapsed and the country was divided into warring factions. Titor's posts included diagrams of his time machine, which he claimed was a stationary mass, temporal displacement unit, powered by two micro-singularities that allowed it to warp space-time. He also provided intricate explanations of time travel theory, including references to parallel universes and world lines, suggesting that his presence in the past would not affect his original timeline, but create an alternate one. What predictions did Titor make? John Titor made several predictions about the near future, some of which have been proven false, while others remain subjects of debate. He predicted that a civil war would break out in the United States in 2004, eventually leading to World War III in 2015, during which much of the world would be devastated by nuclear weapons. He also spoke of technological advancements, such as the widespread use of hydrogen power and the development of a cure for cancer, using simple sound waves. Despite the inaccuracies in his predictions, Titor's story has had a lasting impact on internet culture, spawning countless discussions, fan theories, and even books. Some have suggested that Titor's posts were an elaborate hoax, possibly created by a group of people rather than a single individual. Others believe that Titor was indeed a time traveler, but that his timeline was altered, explaining the discrepancies in his predictions. Is there any truth to John Titor's story? While the story of John Titor is widely regarded as a hoax, it remains a fascinating example of how the internet can be used to spread and sustain modern myths. The character of John Titor taps into deep-seated anxieties about the future, technology, and the fragility of modern civilization. Whether real or imagined, his story serves as a cautionary tale about the potential consequences of technological advancement and the unpredictable nature of time. Project Looking Glass, a device to see the future. Another mysterious and controversial project allegedly connected to time travel is Project Looking Glass, a top-secret initiative said to have been developed by the US government to see into the future. The project is often linked to Area 51 and other secretive military installations, and is said to involve the use of advanced technology to peer into alternate timelines and possible future events. What is Project Looking Glass? According to conspiracy theorists, Project Looking Glass was a device or series of devices that used advanced physics, including quantum mechanics and Einstein-Rosen bridges, wormholes, to access different points in time. The device supposedly allowed its operators to view events in the past and future, as well as to explore alternate realities where different decisions led to different outcomes. Some accounts suggest that Project Looking Glass was developed as part of a broader effort to control or influence the future by selecting the most favorable timeline. This idea is often linked to theories about the New World Order, or a shadowy group of elites who use the device to manipulate global events for their own benefit. What evidence is there for Project Looking Glass? The evidence for Project Looking Glass is entirely anecdotal, consisting mainly of testimonies from supposed whistleblowers and leaked documents of dubious authenticity. One of the most well-known figures associated with the project is Dan Burish, a microbiologist who claimed to have worked on the device at Area 51. According to Burish, the project involved experiments with a device that could bend space-time, allowing the user to view different timelines and even interact with them. Burish's claims have been met with skepticism, especially given the lack of verifiable evidence. However, the story of Project Looking Glass continues to intrigue those who believe that the government is hiding advanced technology capable of altering the course of history. Could a device like Project Looking Glass actually exist? While mainstream science dismisses the possibility of a device like Project Looking Glass, the concept raises interesting questions about the nature of time and reality. If such a device were possible, it would have profound implications for our understanding of free will, causality, and the future. The idea that the future could be manipulated or controlled by a select few is a powerful one, resonating with fears about the concentration of power in the hands of a secretive elite. Theories and concepts, time travel, paradoxes, and theories. While stories of time travel machines are fascinating, they also raise a number of complex and often paradoxical questions about the nature of time, causality, and the universe itself. In this section, we'll explore some of the most intriguing time travel paradoxes and theories that have been proposed by scientists, philosophers, and writers over the years. The Grandfather Paradox, a classic time travel conundrum. The Grandfather Paradox is one of the most famous and frequently discussed time travel paradoxes. It raises the question of what would happen if a time traveler were to go back in time and prevent their own grandfather from meeting their grandmother, thereby preventing the time traveler's own birth. What are the implications of the Grandfather Paradox? The Grandfather Paradox challenges our understanding of causality, the principle that cause and effect follow a linear, predictable order. If a time traveler prevents their own birth, then they would never exist to travel back in time in the first place, creating a logical contradiction. To resolve this paradox, several theories have been proposed. Multiple timelines. Theory. One possible solution is the idea that traveling back in time creates a new, alternate timeline in which the time traveler's actions do not affect their original timeline. In this scenario, the time traveler could prevent their own birth without creating a paradox, as they would simply continue to exist in a different timeline. Self-consistency. Principle. Another solution is the Novikov self-consistency principle, which suggests that any actions taken by a time traveler were always part of history and cannot change it. According to this principle, the time traveler could not prevent their grandfather's meeting because events would always unfold in a way that ensures the time traveler's existence. The Bootstrap Paradox. Objects without origin. The Bootstrap Paradox is another fascinating time travel paradox that involves an object or piece of information being sent back in time, only to become the very thing that allows its own existence. This creates a situation where the object or information has no clear point of origin. What are some examples of the Bootstrap Paradox? One of the most famous examples of the Bootstrap Paradox is the story of a time traveler who brings back a copy of Shakespeare's works to the past and gives it to the young Shakespeare, who then copies it and publishes it as his own. In this scenario, Shakespeare's works have no clear author, as they were never actually created in the traditional sense. They simply exist in a time loop. Another example could involve a time traveler who goes back in time and gives their younger self the plans for a time machine. The younger self then builds the time machine and later uses it to travel back in time, continuing the loop. In this case, the time machine has no clear inventor, as it was never truly invented. It simply exists in a self-sustaining loop. How do scientists and philosophers view the Bootstrap Paradox? The Bootstrap Paradox raises profound questions about the nature of information, causality, and existence. While it is often dismissed as a logical impossibility, it serves as a powerful thought experiment that challenges our understanding of time and the universe. Some theorists suggest that the Bootstrap Paradox could be resolved by the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, which posits that every possible outcome of a quantum event exists in its own separate universe. In this view, the paradox could be explained by the existence of multiple universes in which different versions of events play out. Conclusion of theories and concepts. These paradoxes and theories, while often speculative and theoretical, underscore the complexities and mysteries surrounding the concept of time travel. They highlight the challenges of reconciling time travel with our current understanding of physics and causality, and they provide fertile ground for further exploration and debate. The CERN time machine. Modern physics meets time travel. Moving from the realms of conspiracy theory to the cutting edge of modern science, we find the CERN time machine theory, which suggests that the world's largest particle accelerator, the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, could potentially be used to create a time machine. Could the Large Hadron Collider enable time travel? The LHC, located at CERN in Switzerland, is a 17-mile ring of superconducting magnets designed to accelerate particles to near the speed of light and collide them at unprecedented energy levels. Since its inception, the LHC has been at the forefront of particle physics, leading to discoveries like the Higgs boson. Some physicists, including Dr. Ronald Mallet, have speculated that the extreme conditions created by the LHC could, in theory, allow for the manipulation of space-time. Mallet's work on closed time-like curves, paths in space-time that return to their starting point, suggests that under certain conditions, it might be possible to bend time into a loop, enabling time travel. In 2011, physicists at CERN made headlines when they detected neutrinos that appeared to travel faster than the speed of light, which, if true, would violate Einstein's theory of relativity and potentially allow for time travel. However, the results were later attributed to a faulty cable connection, putting an end to the excitement. What are the potential dangers of using the LHC for time travel? While the idea of using the LHC for time travel remains speculative, some have raised concerns about the potential dangers of such experiments. There are fears that manipulating space-time at such scales could lead to catastrophic events, such as the creation of mini black holes or other exotic phenomena that could pose risks to our world. Despite these concerns, mainstream scientists are generally skeptical about the possibility of using the LHC for time travel. The machine was designed for particle physics, not for bending the fabric of the universe, and the energy levels required for such feats are believed to be far beyond our current capabilities. Could CERN's LHC be a time machine? The LHC has not created a time machine, at least not in the way science fiction envisions. However, the experiments conducted at CERN continue to push the boundaries of our understanding of the universe. While time travel may remain out of reach, the work being done at CERN could one day unlock secrets about the nature of time itself. The problem with these claims is that they often lack concrete evidence. Many are based on rumors, eyewitness accounts, or classified government documents that are difficult to verify. Are these stories simply the product of human imagination, or could there be a grain of truth hidden within them? As we've explored in these tales, the concept of time travel is fraught with paradoxes, unanswered questions, and deep mysteries. From the Philadelphia experiment to the Montauk project, these stories challenge our understanding of reality and the limits of human knowledge. As we continue to dive into these mysteries, we must ask ourselves, are these tales merely myths, exaggerated stories born from our fascination with time and space? Or is there a hidden truth that science has yet to uncover? In this episode, we've explored some of the most intriguing and controversial alleged time travel technologies. We've delved into the details, analyzed the evidence, and tried to separate fact from fiction. Are these machines real, or are they simply the stuff of science fiction? Despite the lack of hard evidence, these stories captivate us because they tap into our deepest desires and fears. The possibility of time travel invites us to question everything we know about reality, causality, and our place in the universe. As we delve deeper into these mysteries, ask yourself, is time travel truly impossible, or are we simply limited by our current understanding of the universe? What do you think? Could these alleged time travel machines be real, or are they just the product of overactive imaginations? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned for more deep dives into the mysteries of the universe on Timeless Secrets Hub.